Welcome back to the Reptiles With Podcast. How you doing, bro?
I'm exhausted.
Hell yeah. Well, we're here with the man, the myth, the local legend.
Oh, geez.
So what I did was I fired Chuck and Tino, and then I combined them to make the ultimate Puerto Rican reptile keeper. We got fucking Eddie,
Yeah.
dude.
It's podcast time!
You're so disgusting.
So how was the show, dude? You just came back from a reptile.
It was great. It was exhausting. I woke up at 5, but it was freaking busy today.
Yeah?
Better than Saturday.
Okay. So I mean, you do these shows. I feels like almost every fucking weekend, dude.
Yes, yeah.
Is that like? Would you say that that's like the main source of income?
Yeah, that's pretty much, I would say, like 95% of my income is from reptile shows.
Okay. Are you doing anything online?
I am not doing anything online. I honestly don't have a need. 100% of my stuff is local.
Yeah.
So whether I do wholesale with you guys, wholesale with other people, or people local to me, honestly, all I got to do, if I really need to do, why are you laughing? I know why you're laughing. Anyway, all I got to do if I really need to sell something, if I'm in a pickle, is just to post a picture of it, and my inbox gets flooded. So.
Yo, this guy's a fucking legend, dude.
So there you go.
He came here to flex on us.
Wait, why are you leaving? Did you hear this already?
He's like, yeah, if I'm in a little bit of a pickle, I just put a nice picture online. Damn, dude. So, okay. So, a lot of the income's coming in from the shows. Do you see anything, like, new at the shows that's kind of, like, getting traffic? Is it always, like, the same shit? You know, are there any trends going on with these shows?
Not that I'm honestly seeing.
Okay.
Honestly, it's been slower.
Recently.
Like, for me at least, it's been a little slower.
Okay.
So it's not as good as it's been the last couple years. So, but I'm still making by. I'm still doing good. So I can't complain. But honestly, this time of year is pretty slow for me as far as business because I'm in that time period where everything from last year is running low and everything that's coming is still in eggs.
Yeah.
So in a couple months, I'll be freaking flooded with animals.
So how is that, like, balancing act? Because the majority of the stuff that you're selling, you're breeding.
Yeah.
Or you have, I guess, like, projects with other people.
I do have,
like
sources of I guess, wholesale, resale, if I really need to.
Okay.
So that helps fill in the gaps.
Okay, so what's the balance like? Are you just every time every time something's ready for sale, you just take it,
Yeah.
or are you holding stuff back to be like, no, I need this so that way when the times are slow?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So a lot of like the Australian water dragons, I'll hold those back for like kind of like a just in case emergency. I'll just hold those back. They're easy to keep. They're easy to care for. So I don't mind holding on to them. And then if I have to, like, the reptile shows, there's no reptile shows for like a month or two.
Yeah.
All right, I'll sell a few water dragons.
Okay.
I'm straight.
There you go, dude. That's exciting. So there's all this drama going on recently with online sales, right? So the majority of my sales come from online. Something that I've been thinking about is doing more shows.
Yep.
It seems that, every time I do a show, it's a couple $1,000s here, a couple $1,000s there, Problem is that I'm doing shows once a month, and then, we did the Atlanta one. We have one coming up in North Carolina that I think by the time this is out, it already passed, and what I'm finding within myself is like, damn, dude, like, the shows do good financially. And if I would want to do this full time, it seems like I need to make that the point, like doing the shows every weekend, but then there's also this online stuff. So like I had, I guess I was going to ask you like if you got the majority of your sales online or at the shows, but you're telling me, I mean, you do everything pretty much.
I have no online presence as far as retail goes.
Okay.
I do have an account with Morph Market, but I just have it just in case. I haven't used it ever.
Okay. There's nothing better than the smell of coffee in the morning, okay? There's also nothing better than the smell of reptiles in the morning. Psych. Reptiles with coffee. That's the smell you want. The strongest coffee, all right? We have it for you. Head on over to the description or go to coldbloodedcaffeine.com and use the code REPTILESWITH to get your Reptiles with coffee today. All right, so you're getting the majority of your sales at these shows.
Yes.
Okay, you're doing this shit full time.
So I do work like some odd jobs if I have to when there's like huge gaps in between shows, but 95, 99% of my income is all from these shows.
Yeah.
Whether it's the shows or it's, wholesale, like I said, wholesale or whatever I got to do, it's all 100% local.
How do you dictate what you're gonna wholesale and retail then?
So if I have a ton of it.
Okay.
So like again, the Australian water dragons, I am getting hit up left and right for them. So that's honestly probably going to be a straight retail animal. I'll probably wholesale a little bit to certain people in pet stores in Orlando, Imperial. But other than that's pretty much it. But because that's a high dollar animal for me to sell.
Yeah.
But other animals like Lacerdas, I already have like over 100 eggs in the incubator, and I'm gonna get more. So that's gonna be a wholesale animal. And if I need to hold some back just to raise up for myself or whatever, again, that's a backup animal. So I can always wholesale afterwards.
Okay.
And then then there's specific things that I breed in smaller quantities specifically for retail that I know that's gonna go quick.
Okay, like what? Like lychees?
Bearded dragons, Leachianus geckos, some smaller species, gargoyles, all that. Redfoots. I breed a ton of redfoot tortoises. You could usually those go pretty well. Lately, the prices on those kind of crash, but
yeah.
But again, most of these animals are animals that really don't cost me that much to take care of. So if I have to keep them, I'll keep them. It costs me nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've always so I have this thing where for Modern Reptile, I try to only sell, as far as like the ball pythons that I produce, I try to only sell high-end animals because that's what I want like the company to be known for.
Right.
Just the higher end, a little bit more expensive. But I'll go and I'll sell like single gene, double gene, whatever the fuck, the miscellaneous hets and stuff like that. But then sometimes I think about it at the end of the day, I'm like, damn, how much like money am I missing out on not like taking these to shows and selling them? Because I do run out of animals to sell.
Yeah.
And I myself when I'm trying to figure out how to run my own numbers, I'm like, how the fuck am I ever supposed to do this shit full time? When there's no roadmap to be like, no, do it this way.
No, there's no roadmap.
Do it that way. And I'm over here trying to figure things out. And I'm like, I feel like I'm losing out on this side now.
Yeah.
So I guess, what advice would you give somebody who is trying to do it full time, dude?
Don't.
But I want.
No, there's room for everybody, and if you do it right, sometimes it's just luck.
Yeah.
I can't tell you an answer because sometimes even I'm like slipping.
Yeah.
Lately, I've actually been doing pretty good, but I don't know. There's really there's no formula for it because there's so many different variables. And are you ball python only? Are you this species? Are you, I don't know, are you a Euromastix only guy?
I'll do you one better. I mean, you've been doing this long enough. You've worked with a bunch of different kinds of animals. Would you say that the route that you've taken now is the best approach as far as like the variability, having specific projects that breed in like excess?
Yeah.
And then having your like more specific projects that's like, okay, these are the ones that I am going to be better known for, retail and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a good question. So I do better with probably the retail side of it, with like the bearded dragons, the common stuff. I do really well with that, and I'll kind of focus on that for a little bit. And then again, the high dollar stuff is stuff that you just, if it hatched, I don't count on it, but if it hatches, and it's all luck.
Yeah.
There's no formula.
God damn it. I came here expecting
For example, though, again, I'm sorry to keep bringing them up. The Australian water dragons, fucking boring.
They're not boring.
No,
dude.
I'm saying
sick.
no. I'm saying me always bringing them up. All right, they're a cool animal. The people in South Florida, and there's about several of them, have not been producing any this year. They have either they're getting slugged out, or they're just not getting eggs, or the eggs are just all messed up. And the thing is, that animal is very it needs to be cycled a certain way.
Yeah.
It needs to drop down in temperature. So we're in Central Florida.
Yeah.
It did get into the 30s a couple times, right?
Yeah.
South Florida didn't really get that much.
Yeah.
So, and those dragons are out, or those animals are outside, just like mine, and they weren't cycled the same. I believe that played into that. What if that happened to me? I would have been fucked financially. That's, right now I have about like 30, 40 eggs in the incubator of that species.
I thought you were going to say 30 or 40 pairs. I was like,
no,
Jesus Christ,
no.
bro.
I'm not trying to crash my market.
All right.
Like other people. But, sorry. But Damn, what was I even saying? Okay, so again, if I didn't have those 30 eggs and they, those 30, again, it's still insured because those eggs haven't hatched yet, but they will. If something were to happen to that, like that's a lot of money that I just missed out on.
Yeah.
Remember, either way, no matter who you are or what species you're working with, we're working with live animals. They're not always going to go. Everything we do, regardless of how we think it's going to go, is all luck, it's all chance, it's all coincidence. But people who work at a normal job, they're good. No matter what happens, they can depend on an actual solid check. We can't always do that.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm over here like, hey, Eddie, how can I do it full time?
There's no...
And he's like, well, you might lose everything.
Yeah, you might lose everything. Your facility might burn down.
Jesus.
Your animals might get a virus. There's so much. We're dealing with live animals. Everything could happen.
Yeah.
It's all risk.
Yeah.
So
would you say don't do it? Don't go full time. You know what it is? This is the thing. I think that the difficult thing is breeding reptiles full time. I don't think the difficult thing is selling reptiles. I think that is a little bit more of a formula because it's like you're buying this, you know what it costs. Now you have to sell it for this. And if you're able to do that, you just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
With breeding reptiles, it's not the same thing because you are, just waiting for these animals.
Yeah, you're waiting for the animals. And again, if they don't hatch in time for your financial reasons, you're screwed. Or
did you get to making the decision to go full time? Was it that you got to a specific number that you were doing that you're like, no, this makes sense now, like I don't need the job?
So I did have a job for a while, and it was basically like a security blanket. I kept it for a while. It was an easy job. So again, security blanket, but I was doing so well at these shows that I was doing better. At that time, I was doing so well that I was just looking at my check, and it was a good check. I was, fuck that. I don't need that. Why am I stressing out over this? Yeah. And then I actually decided to go 100% full-time a few months before COVID. And then when COVID happened, everything shut down. I said, oh, fuck, I fucked my entire family over. Who's going to buy lizards during COVID?
Everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah.
World's burning down, and they're like, we need fucking animals.
Yeah.
I sold out of everything. It was a good year.
Yeah.
So, but it was a huge risk. Who would have predicted that?
Yeah.
I thought I was fucked.
Yeah.
So,
I bought my house because of COVID.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My wife killed it during COVID. She's a tattoo artist, and she fucking killed it.
Yeah.
We did really well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those numbers since then.
But it was a good start, especially for doing it as what it was.
It was a deceiving start because a lot of those people who started or was inspired by COVID, or some of them are actually kind of fucked right now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I really remember selling some adults. I remember selling some like specific project animals that people were like, I'm just gonna buy a whole bunch of this shit.
Yeah.
Now that it's available, now that we have free money every fucking 2 months or whatever. And then they couldn't rinse and repeat. They couldn't.
Yeah,
do
the difference
thing.
between us and them is we were already establishing what we wanted.
Yeah.
And then the luck came our way.
Yeah.
Those people started because of what they were seeing.
Yeah.
Every reptile show was packed. Inboxes were flooded. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Every animal was marked up, regardless of what it was, for everybody.
I look forward to the day. And it's not that I don't like my job. I do like my job. But it's like, I kind of give myself like a lot of pressure to be able to like, the dream is always going to be have my own thing. Like when I like lay my head to rest at the end of the day, like I need to make sure that I did that.
Dramatic.
Yeah. I'm about to say something more dramatic. I need to make my dad proud.
Oh, okay. You have daddy issues?
No, I love my dad.
Oh, okay.
I love my dad, but he did a lot to get here.
Okay.
So it's more like I want to make sure that he gets to be proud of me at the end of the day. So I'm always like, what's the number that I have to be at for me to do this at the end of the day? How do I get to that number? I'm always juggling that.
Low key, I hope he's like, nah, it's not enough.
No.
Nah.
If the thing is about my dad.
I brought you to this country and you're breeding lizards? How do I tell your family in
Nicaragua?
I ain't gonna say that word.
Yeah, no, I mean he's super proud of me. Like it's not that he puts pressure on me.
You put pressure on yourself.
I put pressure on myself.
Hey, Yoshii.
No matter what I do,
Yoshii.
he's proud.
Yoshii, I'm proud of you.
Oh my god.
There you go.
If you want to support us, head on over to modernreptileshop.com or in the description where you can find our merch. And the best part is that a percent of the proceeds from the merch gets donated to conservation. One more time, that's modernreptileshop.com or head on over to the description. You got a bunch of anoles, you got a bunch of day geckos. How are those day geckos?
What was that?
Do you not know about these day geckos?
Oh, okay. I'm not a part of that. I am just a guy. I am not a part of this, okay? I just want everyone to know that. I was not a part of that. I was just,
I know.
But I will say I was breeding, I've been breeding Phelsuma for years.
Yeah.
So that's nothing new for me. I used to breed a shit ton of standing eye, and I sold it all. So I'm getting back into all my Felsumas again.
Yeah. Is there anything specifically that you're looking for?
Nothing too crazy. Things that I like.
Okay.
I'm not looking for like crazy, crazy stuff that doesn't have like common names, and I'm just looking for things that people want to buy and things that I want to like keep. So your Grandis, your standing eye. Sorry.
So to preface that a little bit, okay. So once upon a time, I'm not gonna go into details.
Once upon a time, like this happened like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Once upon a time, I was supposed to have standing eye. And then when I came to pick up my standing eye, Eddie had standing eye.
To be fair, I had standing eye beforehand already, though. Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Sorry.
You were established.
Yeah, I was already establishing my colony.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so as far as colony, how many are you keeping together?
So with standing eye, I've always had luck of a 1.2 up to a 1.3 without fail. You see zero aggression between the females. It's usually never the males with any. It's always it's always for me. It's always you always got to worry about the females. So like Grandis, I always see aggression with females to each other. I don't really see aggression. I don't see the male doing anything except for breeding. But standing eye are actually pretty. They'll actually kind of protect their eggs, almost kind of Tokay-ish. I mean, that's all based on my experience. Someone can tell me I'm wrong, but I've been breeding standing eye long enough that they kind of that's one species that sometimes I just leave the egg in there and they kind of raise it up a little bit. So
really, are you keeping them in screen cages?
Yeah.
What do you
heavily
do
planted screen cages. Well, not heavily planted.
Like, do you have like somewhere for them to nest?
So I use that corn plant that everyone uses.
I don't know what it is. I was gonna ask you to tell me what it is.
I don't know the actual name of it, like the corn mass plant, something like that. It's a generic Home Depot. It's basically like an indestructible plant.
Okay.
You really have to try to kill it for it to die. But the way the leaves are, sometimes the Phelsuma lay their eggs in between the leaves and the eggs and the stalks.
Yeah.
So you just pick them up and take them.
Interesting. So the first Phelsuma that I was breeding were the peacocks. And I had like not a Boston fern, like a house fern.
Yeah.
I had that in there, and what I was noticing is that when some of the leaves would die, they would just kind of like jumble up in the potter, and that's where they would lay the eggs. They would lay the eggs wherever the dead leaves were.
Yeah.
So finding them was super fucking easy.
Yeah, I've never had a Phelsuma like hide eggs on me. It's always dead. Like I open the cage, they're right there.
Yeah.
They stick out.
Interesting.
And that's all so far. That's several of the species I've bred, just like that.
Yeah. Now I'm up the ass with fucking peacocks. I have like
12. Edit that. Turn it into something else.
It went over my head completely.
I thought he did it. I thought you did it on purpose.
No. I was up the ass with peacock.
We're all inclusive here.
Yeah, there you go. So other than the day geckos, how are the anoles going? What kind of anoles are you working with?
So I'm working with the Alisoni, which is like I call it the poor man's podior. It's the blue-headed. It basically looks like a green anole, but on steroids with like a royal blue head and then the green body.
Yeah.
And that's pretty popular. That actually funded my entire Daytona trip, my hotel room.
Really?
Yeah. And I wasn't even vending. I was that guy with a book bag walking into Daytona, and that funded my entire trip.
The fuck, dude? Yeah. How much do these fucking anoles sell for?
$75.
What the hell?
But people, let me tell you, I was like a drug dealer at Daytona. I showed up, people wanted these animals, and I was just in front of people's tables, just all right, $75. Boom, 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 boom. And at the end of it, it paid for my entire vacation.
That's crazy.
A family of 4. I mean, the water dragons helped as well and some of the other stuff, but I was surprised. I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought it was going to be the other species, but it was when I tallied everything up, it was pretty much Alice and I.
Wow,
A little
dude.
anole. It blew my mind.
That is crazy.
My wife thought I was like lying. She thought it was like other things. I don't know.
Is she into the reptiles? And shit?
Not at all.
Any of your kids?
Nope. The thing is, I think they're just because they were brought into it. It's day one. I've been doing this since I was a kid, so to them it's like, oh, that's the boring thing he does. Like, but then their friends see and they're like, well, that's so cool, and they're just like, oh, whatever. Yeah. Listen, I breed thousands of frogs a year, and one of my daughters is deathly afraid of frogs.
I am your daughter.
You are my daughter.
I'm his daughter.
You get all emotional and say, you're my daughter. Yeah. I'm proud of you.
That's great. So I mean, yeah, you on the frog subject.
But also, I will say, like, I kind of like when they were younger, I tried to push them into it, and I think that's what made it worse. So I have a toddler too, and she's actually pretty into it, and it's because I don't put her into it. So she's always like, what's he doing? What's he doing? I want to do that. I want to find eggs. I want to feed the tortoises. I want to do that. So she's always around me.
Got you.
So
different approach.
A completely different approach.
Okay. Cool. So on the frogs.
Yep.
How are they doing?
They're unstoppable.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, right now it's fucking rainy as shit, so you're probably getting.
Yeah, it's a massive orgy in my backyard.
What does it sound like?
It sounds like. Picture like a war with a bunch of ducks. It sounds like ducks.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude? It's like that many?
It's so loud that my neighbors one time asked me, they're like, I have a redneck neighbor, and he's like, Eddie, what is that damn sound in your yard? And I was like, I don't know, man. We had a forest in my backyard, and the city bulldozed it. And I told him, I said, hey, ever since they bulldozed the forest, I think all these frogs came in my property, and they're breeding.
He has no idea.
I
what's
have
going
no
on
clue.
over there.
He thinks I'm just a tortoise guy. He has no clue what I have.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I doubt he's gonna watch this.
Yeah. Can you imagine? God damn it, Eddie! What the fuck? What the hell?
Yeah. No, he's nice. I actually like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're loud as hell, and
Yeah.
so many.
How many do you have?
So I have several hundred babies.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say adults. I
No,
was
no,
like,
no,
Jesus
no.
Christ,
As
dude.
far as babies, we'll get to the adults.
Okay.
As far as babies, I have several hundred. I have about 1,000 or so tadpoles, and then I probably currently, this is just me guessing, I haven't checked yet, but I probably have a couple thousand eggs right now because of the couple days of rain.
Yeah.
And that all came from probably less than 30 adult frogs, and I doubt all of them are breeding, so it's probably a handful of them breeding.
Why do you doubt that all of them are breeding?
Because I would probably have millions.
Really?
Probably. The numbers that I'm seeing, it just makes sense that it's a smaller amount.
Got you.
And sometimes the way I see the eggs gathered, I could tell it came from one female.
And then since they produce, being that they produce so many.
Am I
Do you
seeing any
see-
side effects?
No. Do you see like how strong are the babies? Do a lot of them die off?
No,
or,
that's the scary thing about that species. They're almost bulletproof.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't really see.
That's like my worst nightmare.
I don't really see any failure with that species. I can have small clutches of like a lizard or whatever, and sometimes I'll see like failure to live. I mean, you've seen it online. I've produced a couple with one eyes. And sometimes those are the fattest, healthiest ones I have. Like they don't care. You could chop their legs off; they'll still like kick ass. They're like they are like the superior frog.
White tree frogs.
The white tree frogs, yes, they're just so resilient.
Yeah.
There's almost 100% hatch rate as long
All
as
right,
you're
who
feeding
wins
them.
in a fight? White tree frogs or Cuban tree frog?
Oh, that's good. Because they're just as resilient. They're
Really?
yeah.
Whites? They
You think
are
so?
stocky, yeah. You know what though? Cuban tree frogs, they're fast. They're like,
Yeah, they're
Slim,
more
they're-
agile. Where
yeah.
dumpies are very clumsy.
man, that'd be a good one. Ugh, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm getting goosebumps
Yo,
right now, dude.
I've been telling Yoshii that as far as a challenge goes, it would be good content too.
Oh my
You'd get all the TikToks and whatever you kids do. Get inside my frog cage. It's 8 feet long. It's 4 feet, perfect. 4 feet high. You just sit down, and I have a giant feeding platform that I put all the insects, and then they all just come out of the woodwork, and then just start eating and going crazy.
I'd sooner jump off a roof.
If you can stay there for 5 minutes, I'd give you like $100.
I'm not gonna do that for $100, dude.
Damn,
I will.
what a bitch.
You will?
Yes.
Yeah, but are you as afraid as he
Yes.
as him?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, he.
No, I'm cool with toads. But White's tree frogs and Cuban tree frogs happen to be 2 of the 3 that will put me in a coffin.
All right, 100%.
Okay.
He said he will do it for $100.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it for a video.
And you're gonna
You said
donate
it.
it. We're gonna
You
donate it to USARK.
You said it.
There we go. You did say it.
No, he wants $100 for himself. You're gonna donate it to his what is it? The Puerto Rican boa.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that species.
Yeah.
Are you broke or something?
Could be.
Now, is there anything that you want to start working with?
Man, I'm kind of overwhelmed as it is. But I mean, I work with a lot of different species that we're not even mentioning.
Like what else?
I mean, just in general, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I breed. I mean, last time I was here, Tina was telling me what I was breeding, and I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I do a lot of the Rankins. What else do I do?
All right, I'm gonna name them.
Okay.
I'm gonna name
See?
the ones that I know.
What are you guys doing? You stalk me?
No, I don't know, but I'm gonna name them and tell me where I'm fucking up.
Okay.
All right, you have the Rankins, you have the Bearded Dragons.
Yep.
You have apparently some different Lacerdas and the
Okay.
Jeweled Lacerdas. You have your Lychees.
Uh-huh.
You have the Standing Eye. You have Grandis. You have
Wine blues.
Hawaiian Blues. You have your Redfoots.
Yep.
Did I already name? Did I ever say Redfoots? No.
Nope.
White Tree Frogs.
Yep.
Brown Anoles.
Let me tell you, rarest things you'll ever see.
Alice and I.
Yep.
I think that's it. That's all I know. What else? Oh, Australian Water Dragons.
Australian
You said it
water
like 30
dragons.
times.
Yeah, I did. What else? I have more things. Oh, I do the translucent or the pied chameleons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The cone heads. I've had bad luck recently, but the cone heads are one thing as well. Oh man, I don't know. I have a bunch of different micro geckos and things for my own enjoyment where it's small enough where the group that I have is small enough where if they hatch, I keep them for myself or there's always somebody wanting them. So,
You guys also got some other anoles. I don't know if you guys want to say what they are.
Alex, what do we got?
Conception. All right, we're not gonna say what they are.
Okay,
Yeah.
but a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything like sticks out to you that you're like, maybe I should start doing this? Anything that you're like?
No,
enjoying
there's several species I actually regret missing out on.
Really?
Or selling. I remember I was offered a group of the giant Canary Island. It's basically a Lacerda. It's a huge animal. It actually quacks like a duck.
Really?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm blanking on the scientific name, but it's the Canary Islands have their own group of Lacertids, and they're fucking wild. And one of them is the largest in the world.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I think I remember seeing like a video or something like
It's
that.
like a tannish, darker brown
Yeah.
one. And it squawks like when it's happy and stuff. It's weird. It's
What
crazy.
the
And I was offered them. This was like This is 2005. Were you even born, Eric?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was.
But,
he wasn't alive for 9/11.
I know, that's crazy.
Dude.
I was in high school.
I was in elementary.
They shut the high school down. I was in Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was offered that species, a group of them for like a stupid price, and now they're like nobody has them in America now.
That's crazy, dude.
I actually have like a whole list of species I've either had or was offered, and now they're just non-existent anymore,
Yeah.
which sucks because part of me kind of declining them was like, oh, someone would establish that. I don't need to do that,
Got you.
And now they're gone.
Damn, dude.
Masobi geckos. I used to do the Masobis.
Uh-huh.
Boring gecko, but they're gone. I don't think they exist in America anymore. All
That's
the
crazy.
Europeans are doing them.
If you're listening to this, you're a reptile lover, all right? And what do we all need? We need supplies. So, we got you covered. Head on over to imperialreptiles.com and use the code REPTILESWITH to get a specific discount special to us and our listeners for your reptile supplies today. One more time, that's imperialreptiles.com. Use the code REPTILESWITH. All right, so in this first video, we have some guy that's putting his wood in front of
Some guy who hates
like
US
a
Sark
crocodilian or something like that.
He loves
like,
racks, I hear.
this guy clearly keeps this dwarf caiman in a rack.
Yep.
Like, I don't understand what he's doing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hit play real quick.
At least okay.
Oh, you're the worst. Hold. Hold. Hold.
Hold.
Good.
Dude, what a loser, dude. Who the fuck
I
is
know.
that guy?
My dog does that, so?
It's like, ooh, I got a fucking dwarf came in with me.
Damn, look at his cocky smile, too.
I
What
know,
the
dude.
fuck? No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this
We love you,
next one.
Chuck.
All right, this.
I was offered those a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I said, fuck that, and I was stupid.
All right, so what is this?
That is a collared lizard. It has a fancier name than that, but that's basically it.
How does it get that blue?
Alex, how does it get that blue? Okay.
It's the species. What
Okay.
species is it?
Okay.
Dickerson's collared? Like Dick? Ca- Are they around? Oh, okay. But the ones that we get here, they don't get like that, right? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that shit is fucking cool.
That's like selective breeding right there to help out.
That is a lot of stuck eye caps. Now geckos like this crested gecko over here and the leopard gecko in that video that you're watching to the side have something called the brill over their eyes. They're also known as eye caps. And if the environment is not correct, for example, it's too dry, too wet, or if the animal is sick, then they can't effectively shed. And this shed can stuck up and cause a buildup, as we can see here with the eye cap. But the veterinarian is obviously being very, very gentle in removing the eye cap. The relief is going to be amazing, and the best way to prevent this from happening is making sure that your husbandry is correct and up to date.
Dude, that
I don't know who that is, but I like your accent.
video, like I have a hard
That's
time
disgusting.
watching that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean that doesn't go.
It's
I mean,
fucking disgusting.
it sucks for the animal, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to ask you, Eddie, why are you doing this to your crescent gecko?
Let's help this male gecko to put away his prolapsed hemipene before it
Uh-oh.
dries up and falls off. And no, I am not joking. Yes, that can really happen.
that the same person?
The most
Yeah.
important thing if you
Okay.
noticed a hemipene that has prolapse is to keep the area nice
Yo,
and moist. So
Eddie,
I've
what are you
moved this
doing?
gecko into a sterile tub and I've just sprayed him down with some cool
Whoa,
water.
okay.
This will hopefully help the inflamed area to shrink, and then he can go and do his business by biting and gently nipping and licking at the hemipene to put it away.
Yo,
Okay.
would
mean,
you ever try to lick your hemipene?
Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I took off my ribs and did it. I don't know.
All right, we
You
got
guys
one.
know about that or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
it's fake though.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
not
it's
real.
fake. It's fake. You're old
Yeah.
enough to get that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's an old Manson thing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's Armin. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Armin. I'm cool with Armin.
Ooh, no, I was kidding.
No, I'm saying.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I thought you were showing me like controversial stuff. This is
No,
like
no, dude.
you're
this
showing
is-
me like. No, okay. I thought you were gonna show me like bad things. This is like
No.
okay.
Why did you think bad things? You
No,
think
I
that's
thought
the
this was like
podcast?
no. I thought this was like. What do you think about this video? What's your thoughts on
No,
this? It's
dude,
like,
we just
okay.
look at it, we laugh,
Yeah,
we
okay.
talk about you licking hemipenes,
All right.
and then now we get to see something cool at the end.
I accidentally hatched out an albino anole. Now, I had no part in it, but of course, I'm going to do my absolute best to keep him healthy and alive. He is sensitive to light, so I'm going to choose an enclosure that has lower amounts of UV. He still needs UV for healthy growth, but the light does affect his vision. I'm going to add in moss as a substrate. This holds humidity and doesn't mold very easily. And then we're going to add in some sticks for him to climb on, some different areas. And lastly, I'll add in some fake plants just so if he wants to get away from the light or hide more, he can use that. Time to add him in. And he seems to be doing okay in it so far. You can see he is sensitive to the light, but he does have red eyes. He is a true albino. Some of you didn't think so. We will see how he does. Hopefully he thrives.
Spoiler, it died. Next video.
That was the last video. Did it really die?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying to cut it. I was like, no.
No, don't cut it. Keep it in there. No. So he's not the first to do that. Several people actually have hatched the albino green anoles, and none of them have survived.
Why do you think? Just because they're so diurnal.
I'm not up to date on that type of knowledge because there's other species of anoles and a lot of diurnal species that are albinos that do thrive. Who knows what could have happened? Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't say. But
I did have a little bit of a question on the setups, actually, if you can help your boy out. First off, what is this?
okay, so that's like glass cylinder
Uh-huh.
cups. They actually work pretty well. So
Okay.
it's got the screen mesh at the top.
Okay.
It's actually very easy to maintain. So he's got the UVB hanging. So it's basically
Getting over everything.
Getting over everything without going too crazy.
Okay, but
But remember, he's a breeder, so he's not, sorry people, but he doesn't have these giant cages.
no, I'm asking because I like it. My question is, I mean, is he, as far as you know, like a nose go in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anoles, dwarf geckos, anything small.
Would you
Yeah.
be able to keep Phelsuma and something like that?
Yeah.
And without heat?
I mean, what's your room temps and all that?
That's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. So I had a lot of issues with the Phelsuma when I first started getting babies. And I tried keeping them different ways. The only way so far that I've been able to keep them going is with both heat and UV. But I've seen a couple people keep their Phelsuma without heat, just UV. So that's made me wonder, do they need
depending on the
basking?
setup and how big it is, sometimes the UV is efficient enough to warm up an area.
Yeah.
I know he heats up that room is heated, so he's not doing anything special as far as heating the
Got you.
individual. So the room itself is heated, and the UV is putting little to any. I mean, you also see the height that he's doing.
Yeah. So I mean, how hot or what temperature would the room have to be for you to do something like that?
That's I don't know for sure what he's doing there. That's probably in the low 80s, I would say, probably.
Okay.
Because he's also, from what I understand, he's working with several species, multiple species in one room.
Okay.
Who knows from what, island or what country? So it's got to be kind of a general.
Understood.
Span.
Yeah, I've been just trying to figure out a much more streamlined way of keeping the baby day
For me, I kept him in small, the really small Repti-Breeze with the plexiglass in the front. I've kept them in that for about a month just to make sure they're doing good, they're hydrated, they're eating, and then from there they go outside in a big boy cage.
All right. Yeah, I actually have in those same nanos. I put a pothos in there.
Yeah.
And I have 3 in each cage.
Okay.
That's kind of what I've been doing, but I just kind of want to keep them indoors because I could better watch them. The thing is that my house is fucking cold. The only warm room is the snake room. There's no fucking space in the snake room. But I saw this and I was like, that's obtainable.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably get those at a wholesale price too. Those containers.
Yeah, cool. And because I also saw in some of these, I'm scrolling through right now, and these cages, the same thing. It's mainly UV lights.
Yeah.
And since he has so many anoles, I'm like, oh, they don't need a basking temperature or anything like that.
Yeah.
But okay, no, that's
No, he has. I mean, it has.
yeah,
to,
that's what I was wondering. But I'm like, oh, they don't need that regulation kind of thing. And I'm not saying anything bad about his care or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to get out. I'm just trying to get information for me specifically with the Phelsuma, because I mean I am offering them a basking light, and I'm wondering do I need to? If I were to keep 30 in a row like that, would I be okay? Would they get enough basking quote unquote heat from the source of where that UV is? Those are just things that I'm pondering.
Honestly, if you're trying to produce a decent number, you're probably going to want to do outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, in an area where they're not just 100% blasted
Yeah, of
with
course.
sunlight. So my setup for outside is they're on a waterproof baker's rack. I actually have each row has 5 of those nanos.
Okay.
And they're turned the other way, so their front is the back, so
Yeah.
the actual screen, and then where I feed them is the back, which would be the cage's front.
Okay.
But they're in my screen porch where it's somewhat filtered sunlight. Every cage is getting sunlight, and they're getting hydrated. Everything's planted, so they are getting adequate light, shade, all that stuff.
Interesting.
If I were to do that indoors, my electricity bill would be insane, and my wife would yell at me.
That's it. That's good information, my dude. I've been just trying to figure out, especially with the Phelsuma these days, it's just what's more streamlined. Because now I have, I have the same pair of peacocks. I'm growing up a bunch of babies. I want to raise up 4 females. I have a pair of the lined, and then I have a male and 3 female Grandis.
Okay.
And that's kind of where it's going. Maybe one day I'll have standing eye. Who knows?
You don't have any?
I don't know.
Maybe when I produce them, I'll just
I'll trade you for the cocks.
We'll give some charity. There you go.
Some charity. All right, bro. Is there anything else you want to say? You want to tag yourself?
Eddie Soto, Serpentera Exotics.
Hell yeah. You'll see him at a local Florida show near you.
Thank you.
All right.